Limited in the year 1994. He is also the founder and mentor of Smart Infrastructure, a trust dedicated to the civil engineering to enhance employability and employment. He was president ACCEI during the year 2013 to 2015, and is founding president of PSI since 2013. Engineer Surya Prakash Garu's professional memberships are FIE, FACCI India, MICI, MIRC, MIBC, MINS, DAG, MII, BE, etc. I'm not sure about all these abbreviations. He is elected council member of the IEA in Civil Engineering Division from 2021 till 2025. He authored a book on design and implementation of communication towers. He also authored a handbook on SOP for building construction, published by CREDAI, Telangana. Engineer Surya Prakash Garu is a guest training faculty to CIRE, ISKI, Hyderabad, on CAD of transmission line towers. He is chief resource person for LEAP structures in 56 topics for Smart Infra AST. The CapFed software developed by him won the ACCE CDC Best Software Award in the year 2007. He also received Eminent Engineer Awards and President Medal of ACCI, IBC, iFocus, ECI, Vishwakarma, etc. He organized many workshops and conferences, and he was a member of the expert committee for categorization of seismic damage structures. He was appointed expert committee member by AP government for review of projects in irrigation, affordable housing and capital Amravati works, totally costing about 1 lakh crores. Surya Prakash Garu participated in several international conferences. He guided projects for MTech and BTech students of engineering students. Engineer Surya Prakash Garu handled several prestigious projects during the past 3.5 decades. Some of the projects he undertook include affordable housing, residential, commercial, office, IT, industrial, hospitals, hotel buildings, infrastructure projects. And the prestigious clients include Ministry of Defense, State Government of Telangana, AP, IL&FS, Tech Mahindra, GVK, GMR, BSNL, Idea, Airtel, Tata, Saket, Manjeera, Janapriya, Ashok, and etc. With this excellent profile, I would hand over back to the chairman of the State Center, Brahmadhar Reddy Garu, for further itinerary.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the nice introduction. I request our engineer P. Surya Prakash Garu, today's respected chief keynote speaker. Sir, kindly deliver your talk, sir.
Thank you very much, Chairman Garu, and good introduction by the convener Sitaram Babu Garu, and my dear colleagues from IEA Telangana State Center, and all the engineers who are attending today's presentation on a very important topic and close to my heart. And so I'll start sharing my screen. Hope it is visible and I'm audible clear. And if anybody has a problem, you can message in the chat box. And any questions also, you can message in the chat box. Towards the end, we can take the questions as we move forward. So today is a World Habitat Day. I really wish all the people, all the engineers who are stakeholders of this habitat providing to the people. And this year theme being resilient urban economies, cities as drivers of growth and recovery. Really, this theme, it took me some time to absorb and sink in me. Fortunately, yesterday being Sunday and today also holiday, I could do some work on this and get the information. It's all the data that I collected through Google and some of the projects that we are participating in, Hyderabad particularly. And so the resilient urban economies, we are seeing how the cities are growing and how the cities are driving the growth and how they are recovering from any calamities that are happening. We are all aware. So today being October 2nd, I wish all the engineers the happy Jayanti, Gandhi Jayanti and the Lal Bahadur Shastri Jayanti. And they engineered the revolutionary forefront of our nation. So let us remember them, pray them for our good. So resilience. Can we mute the audio of all so that the others are not disturbed? So urban economy is very vital nowadays to any country's economy, and world GDP is also driven by the urban economy and the cities. But we are seeing the challenges being faced by these cities. Today, the internet is flooded with the New York flooding, actually. The city that never sleeps is flooded now. We are seeing a lot of photographs and videos how the New York City is affected by flooding. And resilience is the buzzword now in every sector, actually. We have to recover from any such calamity. And also, once we recover, we have to grow further. Growth is a constant thing that has to happen. And I remember in one of the Upanishads, Chandogya Upanishad explains why earthquakes, hurricanes, cyclones, floods, and typhoons are created in the world by God. As a part of the grand scheme of things, it states that God deliberately creates difficult situations to prevent people from slowing down in their journey of spiritual progress. When people become complacent, a natural calamity comes along, forcing the souls to strain their abilities. Please understand, strain their abilities to cope with it, which ensures their progress. So it is said thousands of years back. That's what we are experiencing now also. Any calamity, any challenge that is faced by any city, urban conglomerate, will drive the growth after the recovery. This is said even before. And also, I'll show you a small video, which recently in June 25th, I came across. See the girl that is running, and she couldn't cross the hurdle, and she fell down. You can watch this till the end, and you see how she recovered from the fall, and how she takes over and drives her speed further. And surprisingly, she wins the race, even after falling, even after losing that kind of time. This is what is exactly resilience that is driving the growth, actually. This is what is happening in the cities. So resilience, recovery, and drive growth. So these are very, very important parameters that we are witnessing in the cities. Now let us look at the urban population. Why we are talking about urban cities when we are talking about habitat particularly is because of the growth in urban population. The percentage of share of urban population also we are seeing is increasing drastically. By 2050, it is expected that in India, we will have 80 crore people living in urban cities. And here we can see the share of urban versus rural. And you can see the falling trend of the rural as we approach towards 2050. From 2030 itself, the fall will start, the population share percentage growth. Next is the contribution to GDP. We are seeing the contribution to GDP is increasing from urban areas. And, share. One minute. Sorry. Okay. So we can see the urban contribution to the overall GDP increasing more than 60% as we move forward. And next is the blueprint for urban India, economic vitals.
Yeah, please mute. If somebody is talking, please.
So sustained infrastructure development, financing urban infrastructure are the economic vitals, and climate resilience. We are seeing actually Hyderabad particularly, which I can share. If there were 5 peaks of 100-year rainfall in 100 years, in the last 20 years in Hyderabad alone, there are 500-year peaks of rainfall causing flooding. And we are witnessing this in almost every city. And today we are seeing in New York. So climate resilience of the cities is very important for growth drivers. And the future of mobility and the technology, citizen-driven, that is main theme of the smart cities now. And new age technology, that is 5G, is going to come. And we have to implement the technology in every aspect, big data, IoT, and all these things. Next is the enriching soul of our cities, aspirations of livability. That is very, very important, and social commitment. These are the main parameters for the urban India in another 25 years. Next is the growth rates. If you see the growth rate of our GDP, in India, 63% is contributed by the urban cities. And we are heading toward 3/4, that means 75% to be taken by the urban. At present, if 5.7% growth rate is urban area and 1.8%, we can see how it has fallen from 2.6 to 2.3. Every decade, there is a fall in the share of the rural economy towards contribution to the GDP. Now, let us see the challenges that are being faced by various cities in our country. Some examples, it doesn't cover all, but we have seen Mumbai facing a lot of blasts and attacks, apart from the climatic things. And Ahmedabad, we have seen a huge earthquake affecting the city, the first urban earthquake in our country. I have the opportunity to participate in the relief and the rescue operations of the buildings in Ahmedabad post-earthquake. I was also the part of the committee to assess the damage of the buildings. And Hyderabad, we are facing nowadays frequently the flooding issues. 2016, there were issues, and 2020. And now also in July, we had the flooding issues in Hyderabad. Vizag being coastal city, we have seen in 2015 how Hudhud affected the city of Vizag. And New Delhi continuously being affected by pollution every year. During this winter, Delhi is most affected, and we have a standard instruction from the NDMC that construction cannot be carried out during this period to reduce the contribution to the pollution. And the pandemic, we have passed through the entire world, and slums, ultimately, the problem of slums that are being faced by almost all the cities. So I'll be sharing these issues in my today's presentation. So this is the one picture of Ahmedabad post-earthquake, and how many buildings, at least 1,500 buildings have collapsed in Ahmedabad, and thousands of buildings are damaged during the earthquake in 2001 due to Kutch earthquake. Hyderabad flooding, this is the picture of 2020, almost 60% of the colonies affected by the flood. So the cities have recovered from such calamities actually. And this is one street view of the flood flowing like a stormwater drain. The roads became the stormwater drains. And then Vizag, Hudhud, so many buildings collapsed due to the cyclone. And even the Vizag airport was to shut down. You can see the picture of Vizag airport also. The roof is flown away. So many industrial buildings collapsed during this. And the Delhi pollution, one is Yamuna River, and the other is air pollution that we see everywhere in the city. Pandemic, we are all the witness to that pandemic, how it has affected the economy of the country, economy of the cities. There is no exception in the world. No city is exempted from effect of this pandemic. Now, any calamity, we look for relief from the calamity and we rescue the people, we rescue the infrastructure, and we restore the economy. And then comes the resilience, issue of resilience. How we have seen so many messages after the Bombay attack, how people have were resilient and how people have restored the normalcy of the city even after such a barbaric attack of the city. So resilience is an inbuilt parameter in most of the cities we are seeing, whether it is Ahmedabad after the earthquake, Vizag after Hudud, Hyderabad after the floods, Delhi after every pollution sequence. So we are seeing the growth in these cities. And so who are all the participants? Who are all the stakeholders? NDRF, we have National Disaster Response Force and State Disaster Response Force and NSG, National Security Guards. So NDRF responds to every active action of the climatic attack on the cities, and SDRF rescue the people and provide relief to the people and relief to the infrastructure. And the NSG commandos, we have seen how they have responded to Mumbai attack. And finally, the resilient economy. Always we see after every recession, there is a rebound in the economy. And we have seen the biggest real estate subprime during 2008. And real estate also has recovered after this subprime. So you can see here the economic graph, if you see, of course, the share of United States is reducing from 40% of the world economy to 24%, but China has picked up from 4% to 14%. And India has already reached the 5th position in the overall GDP in the country. And so you can see there are two dips in the economy. One is recession, the other is subprime. Both have affected the overall economic growth. But you can see after every dip in the economy, there is a sudden rise after every dip. This is what is the resilience economy. And urban economy contributes to this growth, what we have seen earlier, that is 70% of the economy is driven by the urban economy. And mainly the urban economy is driven by services sector. We have seen Hyderabad software exports have grown to 2.5 lakh crores. And that contributes to the real estate, that contributes to the tax revenues, and it drives the economy. This is the real estate graph again, how the real estate post subprime has bounced back. And again, due to, there is always 10-year cycle. Every decade, there will be a slump in the real estate and it will be bouncing back. And now real estate is growing well in Hyderabad at least. So today I'll be taking more of the examples of Hyderabad city in this growth and resilience. So Hyderabad city is mainly driven, the growth drivers of Hyderabad city are ORR, Outer Ring Road. We have seen how it has contributed. And now the regional ring road that is being proposed. And we have these radial roads with elevated expressways and elevated corridors. And we are also coming up with the expressways in Hyderabad, like the airport. We have seen from the airport connectivity after the PVNR expressway to the airport without any stop. One can reach without any signal also. These are, and also we are coming up, Hyderabad is coming up with the express metro connecting high-tech city to the airport also. So these are all the growth drivers that are contributing to the economic growth of Hyderabad. So this is the ORR that is completed about a decade ago now. And ORR is driving the growth. Like we are seeing how the airport to Shankarpalli or Patancheru stretch is growing. If you just drive on the ORR, you can see the growth that is happening. So whatever be the city, in fact, I was part of this city master plan advice to HMDA long back, 20 years back. We were talking about these growth corridors. And that's what is happening now. You see every radial road connecting the ORR. At the junction, you see the growth happening now because of the connectivity. ORR is the best thing that happened to Hyderabad city as a growth driver. And now we are seeing the stretch of airport to Shankarpalli. We have seen the recent auction of Kokapet where the per acre quote has gone up to 100 crores. So that is the growth that we are witnessing. About 10, 15 years back, my clients quoted 13 crores. That was itself, they felt it is very high. And now it has, within 10, 15 years, it has grown from 13 crores to 100 crores because of the connectivity. So that is the growth driver that is happening in Hyderabad because of the infrastructure. Next is the radial roads. We are seeing ORR connected to radial roads. Now the regional ring road connecting all the districts of Telangana. So that will be the next driver for the growth because the rural economy gets connected to the urban economy and people can export their produce from the agriculture, which will contribute to the urban economy again. These are all the elevated expressways. We already have PVNR on this Bangalore expressway, Bangalore highway, and now we have Warangal highway also, one elevated corridor, and more elevated corridors are coming up. And expressways we are seeing without the signals connecting various important like airports, railway stations, and all. Now, Hyderabad Metro City main growth drivers, further growth drivers are SRDP. About 27,000 crores is spent on this strategic road development project. And next is the SNDP, Strategic Nala Development Project, on which again the government is spending about 20,000 crores to solve this flooding problem. The flooding problem of Hyderabad was addressed by Nizam erstwhile about 100 years back, which was advised by Visvesvaraya. Now again, the need has come to solve this flood problem by implementing this strategic Nala development program. Next is the CRMP, Comprehensive Road Maintenance Project. We have seen in 2016 roads getting damaged very badly, and the city has almost come to a grinding halt. And the government has taken steps to solve this pavement issues by handing over the comprehensive road maintenance project to private agencies, and entire city roads are given to private contractors for maintenance, which will hopefully solve the problem of these pavement issues. Next is the Dignity Homes. This is to solve the homeless people's problem. This is exactly today's theme, the habitat issue. The government of Telangana has successfully implemented 1 lakh houses in Hyderabad city alone, and another 1 lakh in rural, and more to come. Earlier schemes have failed actually. Rajiv Swagruha or many housing projects have failed, but Dignity Homes was a successful scheme, actually providing 2-bedroom houses to the poor. Next is the MMTS, Multi-Modal Transport System, to solve the problem of the commuting by the people. It was implemented about 20 years back. And next we are seeing one of the best metros, Hyderabad Metro. Again, public transport system. The next should come is the rapid metros, that is connecting the highly densely populated areas for the last mile connectivity of the metro. Next is the high-tech city. We have seen how the services sector is contributing to Hyderabad, and that is happening because of the master plan of high-tech city and now Gachibowli financial district. The services sector are given a big impetus because of this high-tech city, providing the basic infrastructure, net connectivity, and facilities and infrastructure. Next, Hyderabad is known for pharma, and pharma city, pharma cluster are being developed quite well. And we have seen how Hyderabad city rose to this vaccine development. Even Prime Minister visited Hyderabad during that time because of the pharma cluster in Hyderabad and many pharma companies. So these are all the SRDP finished flyovers of Hyderabad city. The transit time in Hyderabad drastically reduced because of this flyovers being and underpasses being developed under this SRDP. Almost 36 flyovers are constructed, and some of them are 2.8 kilometers long even. And this is Durgam Cheru. This is also the cable stayed bridge, and this is also developed under SRDP actually. And these are all the many important junctions and underpasses that are developed under this SRDP only. So, as I said, there are about 36 flyovers constructed under this SRDP, and some of them many of them are more than 2 kilometers long. And earlier it was 31 projects and then extended to 36. Now SNDP, the phase 1 of SNDP, the underground stormwater drains. Earlier, the sewage drains and stormwater drains were mixed, and under SNDP, it is separately, these stormwater drains are built, and hopefully this will solve the problem of the flooding in Hyderabad once phase 2 is also completed in SNDP. This is all the recovery from the calamities. Whatever calamity happens, the government responds to it by taking up this kind of development projects, which will further drive the economy. We have seen how Telangana economy is growing because of the infrastructure, like irrigation projects, whether it is Kaleswaram or Palamuru Rangareddy lift irrigation scheme. We have seen how the agriculture has added to the economy. Similarly, the city's economy is driven by this public transport and basic infrastructure, road connectivity, and drains. So they will be, even when we face with these calamities, this kind of infrastructure growth will add to the growth of the city, and further it will add to the growth of the real estate, and they complement each other, infrastructure and real estate. This is the CRMP project, the comprehensive road maintenance project. So these are being developed with the proper design and proper payment, which otherwise in city we have even studied and made a report in 2016 that the payments that are done as a makeshift arrangements have failed every year, almost every monsoon period. Now with the CRMP, these payments are properly designed with minimum thickness and minimum cambers. And so hopefully this will perform much better. And housing, Telangana Dignity Homes, as I said, the Telangana government successfully implemented without cost escalations within the time by using the technology and the technology neutral approach. So first time in this affordable housing, we have even used the precast and rigid monolithic construction and the tunnel form in Hyderabad because of the technology neutral tenders that are floated by the GHMC implementing agency of this 2-bedroom housing project. And at one place, this is the largest at Kollur, at one place 32,000 houses are built. And that is the largest single location affordable housing that is done. It will further add to the, like we have seen Hi-Tech City and Gachibowli, where a lot of IT companies have come up, and there the working people's living in proximity is very important. And this is a very strategic decision by the government to provide affordable housing in close proximity to the developed Hi-Tech City area. Next is, this is the Hi-Tech City. We have seen how it has changed the urban landscape of Hyderabad city. together with Gachibowli and now the Kokapet. And with the lifting of Section 111 of GO, it will further drive the growth towards Moinabad and towards Moinabad. And MMTS, we have seen how it has helped in public transport, connecting the satellite towns like Gatkesar and far off places. And the Metro Rail also is one of the best in India now, Hyderabad Metro, and how it has connecting the high-tech city to the residential hub of Malkajgiri even. Now Hyderabad city is adding 3 lakh dwelling units every year and almost like 20 million square feet of office space. This will be the major growth driver for the city of Hyderabad. Whatever calamity, whatever challenges that city may face, this kind of construction activity, as we all know, the real estate itself is contributing almost like 50,000 crores every year in Hyderabad. And every 1,000 crores spent will contribute 5 times to the GDP. So the real estate is contributing to the GDP, the infrastructure is contributing to the GDP, and they are the major growth drivers. And Hyderabad city is able to recover from any challenge and is consistently growing in terms of service sector, which is the backbone of any urban economy. Now, being the Habitat Day, let us also look at the other side, challenging side of our country. Almost 65 million people are living in slums, out of which almost 1 crore per city like Mumbai, Hyderabad, not Hyderabad, Mumbai, each state like Maharashtra, alone 1 crore people are living in slums. And we are seeing slums are remaining in spite of, despite of the so many housing policies being So it is really the very, very sorry state. We engineers and planners have to think about the living conditions of these slum dwellers, how unhygienic and unhealthy. The slum living conditions, there is no proper drainage, no proper water, not even a proper roof on their head. And people, 65 million people are living in such a condition. Is a very pathetic thing, and we all have to work for changing these living conditions and removing, at least eliminating the slums in a phased manner. Though there was a slum rehabilitation projects in Mumbai and many cities, in fact, Housing for All is a scheme announced by the Government of India to at least give 3 crore houses to these homeless people, but unfortunately, the slum dwellers are not getting that due to failure of the policies. So hunger, poverty, and disease stalk India's slum population as sustainable development goals are ignored. We know United Nations has announced the 17 SDGs, out of which this slum clearance and poverty alleviation is one very important parameters of these sustainable development goals. But we are still far away from implementing these things. So why these slums are still continuing? Because whatever housing we are providing, the location is not in close proximity to the working areas for these poor people. Employment proximity, and then lack of commitment of the successive governments. That is a major issue, and failure of policies. We have seen how so many policies are being implemented by the government but not reaching. And we have seen AP being one of the bad example, like 7 lakh houses were started to be constructed, out of which 4 lakh houses contract was awarded, out of which only 93,000 have come to 90% completion. So these are all the failure of the policies and the increase in the cost, and which is not affordable by the poor people. Victims deceived again and again. In fact, I have done a survey with some undergraduate students where they found that even if you promise them the proper house, they are not ready to vacate their slum because they are not confident that they'll be given really the house. So they lost the trust. Slum rehabilitation needs time-bound holistic approach, though Mumbai started, but it didn't complete. And EWS LIG policy, we have seen it was a very good policy by the central government, but again, the developer lobby has hijacked this by converting into payment of fee. That means every real estate development should have the EWS and LIG housing, at least 20% of the developed area, so that the working class will be living near to the working areas. But that is not happening even today. So habitat, finally, the world has to provide habitat as the fundamental right of every human. It's really pathetic to see our own fellow human beings living in such pathetic conditions. And on this World Habitat Day, let us all take a pledge to work for this conversion of these slums into proper livable places. So with this, I conclude my talk, and I thank our Institution of Engineers India, Telangana State Center Chairman and Committee for giving me this opportunity. And if any questions, you are welcome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Engineer Surya Prakash Garu, very nice presentation. There is one question from our Dr. S.P. Anchuri. I think he is traveling. He asked me to.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. He said, nice presentation. It is very good drive, and nicely you have explained about growth drivers. But we are going through huge challenge of traffic issues. We cannot even drive two-wheeler, leave about four-wheelers. Even though hardly any tall buildings are completed or occupied. Your comments on this situation is being asked by him, sir.
Actually, we did a study, sir. Not once, in 2012, once we studied on the Hyderabad traffic conditions. And again, 2016, we did the study. 2012 to 2016, the average speed of the vehicles has come down from 20 kilometers to 12 kilometers. That means you will take 1 hour to reach 12-kilometer destination in Hyderabad. And not every stretch like that, but we have found that average. And we did a study using Google Maps with the different traffic models, actually. There are scientifically working traffic models available for Hyderabad city. In fact, we did that model, and it will again bring back from 12 kilometers average speed to 20 kilometers average speed if we implement. But that requires the government to take a decision and people to accept such a harsh decision. That means, like we have seen recently, government implementing U-turns instead of signal junctions. That has improved a bit, but again worsened at every U-turn junction. Instead of that, we have to go for the rotary models. That means one-way traffic. We have to implement in many stretches. We have identified that. And if we can implement, I have a report with me, really studied by engineers, and that can be implemented if government is ready to do that, apart from SRBP.
Excellent, sir. Very wonderful presentation. I think
Girish
Garu want to please, sir.
Thank you, Surya Prakash Garu and Brahma Reddy Garu, sir. Sir, you just showed one Nala development project, which is basically in situ construction.
Yeah.
In fact, every seminar, every conference that we keep doing, we always keep talking of technology in construction, such as precast and things like that. See, it is very simple arithmetic. For example, if you look at that Nala photograph that you showed, which perhaps just is not in Telangana, but all across India, I still fail to understand why we are doing in situ. Because the quantum of concrete in situ is slightly higher than the precast elements, point one. Point two is that it takes ages and it's such a painful process for all stakeholders, be it the planners, be it the contractors, be it the stakeholders, everybody, it's a painful process. Likewise is the case with our housing also. Even today, we would like to go in for the conventional frame structure housing, which is again a painful, hugely unsustainable technology with respect to CO2 footprint. And time and again, it has proven that, technology should be brought and everything should be manufactured henceforth, more so in construction. And when you see our normal planning of any apartments or any houses, be it individual or group, it is either a rectangle or a square in plan. So if you can bring out pod-like things, everybody knows that it is going to work. And like a Lego, with keeping of course, we don't have some codal provisions for this Lego type of construction, but it can be developed. Why is it that a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of even our own fraternity is not taking so fast to this precast construction, hybrid construction? I keep wondering time and again, these pods are such a fantastic concept, at least for bathrooms, for toilets in individual homes or in apartments. We can always bring pods and do away with this perennial waterproofing issues, which 99% of all the toilets face today. So why is it that we are not able to take up in that direction?
Yeah, Girishji, actually about 4 years back for the same Nala development work, I have done the feasibility study. You are aware I promote precast as an engineer, but yes. The challenges that we faced are access to most of the old city in Hyderabad and most of the old colonies which were developed without proper plan have 20 feet, 30 feet streets actually, in which very difficult to access to take this precast element. And also the crane operation is limited by the cables and overhead distribution. So we could not find viability of implementing precast for this Nala. So that's why we had to go with the in situ construction only.
Okay. Yeah. Hope that we'll move towards manufacturing very fast.
No, all new developments we are implementing precast actually. There is a factory in Hyderabad which supplies the precast pipes for these stormwater drains and ducts also, cable ducts also. There is a company in near Film City, near Film City. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that answer.
Any questions, sir?
Ishwarai Garu, good evening, sir. Subramanian sir, hope I met your expectation. Dr. Subramanian sir.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you. All the slides were looking very impressive. I was wondering whether it was USA or India.
Thank you, sir.
That's very good, sir.
Yes, sir. Rameshwar.
Dr. Rameshwar, sir, your presentation is very informative, sir. Very nice. Really, I enjoyed your presentation today.
Yeah, thank you.
I think high quality and very good.
Yes.
Content is also very, very good. I think I learned a lot. This, though I am not from civil, but very good. You can follow the very easily and nicely presented. The way you present also is very beautiful.
Gathering information is also very challenging.
World Habitat Day means it looks very dry, this thing, but you made it very volatile and very dynamic information, and really hats off to you. Anybody else, sir? Shall we go ahead further?
Sir Srinivas Reddy. Really, it's a very much informative session, sir. Excellent information is there in that presentation. And in a precise and crispy way, we came to know many facts. Really, we are not from the civil background. From this, with this session, we came to know what is happening in the city and in the direction of civil area. It's a very nice presentation, sir. Many facts are being elevated in this presentation. Really, thanks to you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you again. Now, may I request our Dr. G. Venkata Subbaiah Garu, our Honorary Secretary, kindly to propose vote of thanks, sir.